We want to say welcome to another episode of House Calls with your man, Dr. Rory T. Edwards, where we dive into the heart of human experiences, addressing the real issues that shape our daily lives. Today is 10/31/24, and we all know that it's a day of masking the reality. Most people who enjoy this day usually will getting prepared to go out and trick or treat, take the children out, go to parties, and a lot of times what it does is it's really masking the reality. You go out and you become something that may be your alter ego, maybe just some way you identify with. You can behave a certain way, and sometimes it's also a very good uh, camouflage way of unleashing some of the pain and some of the desires that you have just in having an alter ego. So if you go out and you celebrate and you do that particular stuff today, I wish you well. I hope you're safe. But like we said, you're on today with Dr. Rory T. Edwards on House Calls, and today we're going to talk about the silent struggle behind the smile. Now, what does that mean? How many times do we see people all the time, and the first thing we do is we say we greet people with a smile? We greet people with a smile, but how many of you all are taking the time and the attention to pay attention to their eyes? Because they say the eyes are the gateway to the soul. And so if you're greeting people and you're looking at them and you want to really acknowledge them and celebrate what they're doing, you got to look at the gateway to their soul. You got to look in their eyes when you see the smile. Most of the times when we smile, we're camouflaging it because we want people to believe that we live in a perfect world and that our life is totally balanced. And a lot of times our lives are not balanced. And why do I say that? Well, we're coming into the season where we know that it's the highest rate of clinical diagnosed depression. We know that there's a lot of anxiety going on because people are trying to garnish up all of the things to supply the family for the Thanksgiving holiday. They're also thinking about um, some of the sales that are going to be going on in the stores, and that can draw a lot of anxiety for people just trying to please other people. We also know, like the Christmas holiday, the New Year holiday, all of those things are approaching us. And we also realize that a lot of people get depressed because, in a lot of cases, they go all out and then they spend the next 6, 7, 8 months getting themselves out of debt. So you may not know that's going on in their life, but these people, you see them every day and they smile. You see them in a situation where they're at work and they're smiling and they're really happy and and they're all seem to be the life of the party, but internally they are struggling. They are having very difficult times with just the balance that they need to be the successful person that they really truly want to be. And then what happens in January? We know most people go and they make resolutions about what they're going to do to better their life from the previous year, right? Now, studies show and data shows that 85% of people dismiss their New Year's resolution within the first um, six, 6, 7 weeks. Not months, 6, 7 weeks. They no longer practice it. Some of the biggest things are: I want to lose weight, I want to live healthier, I want to start going to the gym, I want to make sure that the relationships that I'm in are much more positive, more balanced. They help me out more in my development, and I want to become successful in my personal journey or my professional journey. And then what we realize is that we live in a world that celebrates the shine. What do? We look at the achievements. We talk about what people are doing. We wear the bright colors. We wear the gold. We get the big cars. We shine them up. We talk about the success stories. We talk about all because people believe that the more they talk about the things that are successful in their life, the more people will believe that their life is truly successful. But are you willing to put the work in that takes the time to also create that success story that operates by itself? We're not talking about a success story overnight. We're talking about a success story that can generate consistent revenue for you, can generate consistent pleasure for you, and generate consistent consistent development for the masses or what you're trying to do. So we got to look at how we address the silent struggle behind the smile. And in a lot of cases, like I said, this season coming up actually provides some of damaging, the most damaging information about people who are not doing their best. And we have to find ways that we can help people do their best. One of the things that I say is very, very simple. If you're trying to do something, uh, you have to look at it from that perspective. And that is so true. Everything that glitters is definitely not gold. Everything that glitters sometimes is fool's gold. And so you have to realize that when you're doing that, you have to understand that the things that you see may be a mirage in the eyes of others. It may be mirage in the eyes of yours. It depends on your standards. You got to have different standards. You got to have things that you look at and you see what the value brings to you, not what the value brings to the other person. But what I tell people is this very simple process. It's the who, the what, the where, the why, the how, and the why. Who, what, where, when, why, and how, and why. You look at those particular 6 steps and you address those. And when you're looking at things that are going to help you internally, you address it from there. Who are the people? Who are the things that I want to connect with that are going to make me feel good? What? What does it take? What is the process for me to be successful, to me to feel internally balanced, that the smile is genuine? Where does it take place? Does it take place on my terms? Am I sharing this opportunity with somebody else? What am I doing? Where does it take place? Does it take place in your home? Does it take place outside? Does it take place in your job? Does it take place in your church? Does it take place in your relationship? When? When does it happen? The best answer I say is it happens now. Don't wait on somebody else to define and create the day for you to be successful. The day starts now. Why does it happen? Because you are built and put on this earth for a certain purpose. It happens because it's supposed to happen to you. So make sure that you do all of those particular things when you are looking at what is, we are addressing the silent struggle behind the smile. Once again, you're listening to House Calls with Dr. Rory T. Edwards, and you can definitely reach us at www.rorytedwards.com. Now, let's talk about a few things that I think are very, very important. One thing that I think is very, very important that you do if you are in this position and you feel like you're struggling a little bit and that the smile you portray every day is not genuine, or the people that you're receiving the smile with is not genuine. So this is what you got to do: a little mindful self-reflection. Most of us don't take the time to have self-reflection, because what we do is we jump up and we get on the go. We check our phones, we're checking the news, we're listening to the music, we're doing whatever we got to do without doing mindful self-reflection. So what I say, this is some things I always said, and you hear me say them again, and always will say them. Create a daily check-in ritual, not with anybody, but with yourself. Create a daily check-in ritual. Spend a few minutes each morning addressing what your concerns are. Put some values and principles for which you operate on. Write 5 or 6 values and principles that you operate on, and set your day up according to your principles so nobody else can dictate what goes on during the time of the day for you, right? Also, take a little time to meditate. Meditation doesn't mean you have to go into a trance. Meditation means that you just clear your mind, your body, and your spirit, and connect them all on one accord, so that when I said, when you walk out the door, you know you're the best version of yourself, and your smile will be genuine, and your smile will resonate with other people as they look into your eyes, to the gateway to your soul. Another one is set boundaries for self care. You got to set boundaries for yourself, Claire. If you don't go to the gym or you don't work out, still set boundaries for self care. You might just do um, a little brisk 2, 5, 10 minute workout in your home before you go. Just get your blood flowing. Get the blood that you slept on generating through your body, so it ignites your organs to be functioning, so that your organs are operating on all cylinders. So create a little ritual for self care. Set boundaries for self care. And then the third thing is, it's hit or miss, but I'm going to share it anyway. Listen to feedback from trusted individuals, because sometimes we got to realize who we trust. Everybody who we trust, we believe, are trusted individuals and friends. We don't take information from everybody, right? Everybody who's in your circle may not be part of your circle. They may be there to disrupt your circle. But often we can detect, others can detect what we're feeling. They've been around us long enough. They know our feelings. They know how we act. They know how we move. They can tell us. They can ask, "Are you all right?" It may be a simple question like that. Are you all right? Listen to what people are saying. Don't try to mask everything because you're going through something. You're not the only person in the world who's going through something. You can definitely take some information and some advice from others who are seeing something going on with you. And don't be ashamed to seek help if you feel that it's becoming too much pressure for you to handle. We have to realize that the smile is an invitation for people to speak to us. The smile is also, people may think that I want to be like that individual, but they don't know internally that you're going through a lot of stuff. You have to realize also that the effects of the universe and the hemispheres changing also has an effect on people's well-being. That's something I get into a little bit more as we go into the months of November and December with these house calls. But before I go, I want to say I want to thank everybody who took the time out to purchase the new book right here. Again, I'm going to keep promoting The Man That's Missing in Me. Why am I talking about this book? The reason why I'm talking about it again is because it's a book that I just wrote. It definitely talks about the journey that men need to go on. We're on a campaign, a global campaign, to actually go out and help men to become more proficient and more efficient in their daily lives. So many times men have been the focal point for some of this same rhetoric that I'm talking about. And when we listen to different things, people say men need to be a little bit more stern in who they are. Well, men are human also. Everybody, men are human also. Let me tell you the number one killer for men, and most people think it's, when we talk about it, it's certain things, high blood pressure, things of that nature, heart attack, things like that. The number one killer for men, especially men of melanated skin tone, is a broken heart. It's a broken heart, because most men, just people just don't know what men go through in a daily activity. Now, I'm not saying that all men um, don't deserve some critique. We all deserve critique. There's nobody out there who should be able to critique somebody else without saying that they looking in the mirror and looking in their internal soul to see how good they're really doing in their journey. So, anyway, like I said, this is a very powerful book if you have men in your life. Men, you have to have a man in your life if you're listening to this. There's a man in your life in some capacity: your father, your grandfather, your husband, your significant other, your son, your stepson, your nephew, just a student in your classroom that you know is really struggling on the crossroads of making positive decisions or making some decisions that may alter their life for the remainder of their life. Definitely, it's a great read. I would suggest that it could be a great holiday gift for a man if you're not looking at spending a lot of money. If you want to get something that's a great gift for the men in your life, I would guarantee and say that that book will be a very good insight for them. How would you get that book? You can go to www.rorytedwards. You go to my shopping cart. You click on the shopping cart to be a list of all of the books that I have available. Click on that book, make the purchase. You have a great gift for all of the men in your life. I would suggest that it's very important that if you do have some men in your life that you're working with, This is a great tool to start the conversation. Great tool to start the conversation. So, with that said, it was the last thing I said. Listen to feedback from trusted individuals. You can trust me. You can trust me. I sound like a car salesman. But anyway, we thank you for the time today. We'll be back next week with House Calls for a new topic, but definitely going to continue on how we address self help and internal balance, external balance, how we develop and help you to increase your intrinsic motivation and also balance it out with your extrinsic motivation. So until we talk again, you all have a great, if you're celebrating the Halloween holiday, be safe. Make sure if you're a parent of children that you check all of the items that your children receive before you're giving them the opportunity to indulge in some of the sweets or some of the other gifts that people will give them, and make sure that you limit the amount of sugar that your children intake every day because it's very harmful. It's a very harmful substance that can definitely disrupt your child's growth. And we'll talk about that at another time also. But you can Google that stuff to find out for yourself. But until but at the time it's time, and until the next time we connect, I want to say thank you for joining. I want to say thank you for being a part of these house calls and all of that. But make sure that we want to address what today's topic was: the silent struggle behind the smile. Please address that. So until the next time we talk, be well, stay safe, be blessed. Ashe.